Good morning. Now, January is kind of where I'm thinking about projects for the whole coming year. And one of the things that I've been thinking about for a while is starting to go non-exclusive with DriveThru. Um, and if I'd had my sort of time again, if you like, I would have started non-exclusive rather than exclusive. But at the start, I didn't really consider this turning into anything major. It was just kind of like small little bits and bobs, earning pennies really. So I didn't give it much thought. Um, but now, if I was to go non-exclusive tomorrow, I would have to make up kind of like $3,000-4,000 over the year to make up that difference in earnings. So it's quite a big cut that you're going to take. It looks like 5% when they show it to you, but it's actually nearer between 7 and 8% cut in earnings. So what I'm doing is I am trying to become less dependent on drive-through by building up my own web store, which you saw last week or the week before. I can't remember when I posted the stats from it, and that's growing slightly. I'm doing that one because you are allowed to sell your own titles on your own website, and you're allowed to sell print on demand anywhere. Um, at the moment, I've just got digital products on my website. I was looking at doing all the print on demand versions through Lulu, because I could then sell the Lulu print on demand books on their own site, because print on demand are not covered by the exclusivity, and get the print on demand onto Amazon. And that's still in the pipeline. But getting the print on demand onto my own website, uh, there were several different ways of doing it. One option was to go use the Shopify, create a Shopify shop for the print on demand, and then use the Shopify plugin. But that would mean spending $20 a month just at least. It starts at $20 a month just to have the basic Shopify store, um, and then maintaining two stores, and it looks a bit of a hassle. The other option was to use the Lulu API, and I've never set up an API on WordPress before, so it looked like it could be a bit of a pain to do. Then I started thinking about Lightning Source, and so this week I was looking at the Lightning Source website, and uh, down here, there's your print on demand, global printing, and they do ebook distribution. Now I can't do this side while I am exclusive, but when I go non-exclusive, I could use their distribution network, and that sounded quite interesting. So I drilled down a little bit more, and that their digital side here, they have 39,000 retailers. Now, I was just joking yesterday with someone and said, well, if I sold one PDF or one book per retailer per day, I would be more than happy with 39,000 sales a day. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but it's still 39,000 possible avenues, which I hadn't considered. Um, and yeah, so I was reading about the print on demand is obviously what we're looking for, what I'm looking for, and there's loads and loads of options, more options than drive-through give us. So I drilled down a bit more, and there's two possible ways to go. Now, independent publisher. This is how I see myself: small publisher or self-published author. As far as I'm concerned, that's me. But they put the criteria at 30 titles, and I've got 30. Well, it's now 32. It's 31 when I was looking at this. So, that's a dilemma. Am I mid to large size, which I certainly don't think I am, or am I independent with under 30. So I'm right on this cusp. And so what I thought is, rather than setting up an account and setting up the wrong one, I'll contact them. And on their contact page, here's the authors and publishers section. And I thought I'll email them. Now I know Lightning Source through DriveThru, so and not knowing which one to go for, I went with them. And just what you want, the email bounces back because their domain name's malformed. And I just saw that bounce back and I thought, oh no. So I went back to the contact page, found their Facebook contact, and sent them a Facebook message and thought nothing of it. About 3 or 4 days later, they responded and said, "Oh, don't use Facebook. We're not the right people," which was just what you wanted to hear. And so I had another look at this, and it's right. It is malformed. They put a period at the end. Um, so anyway, I then went back and I did email them, and I was directed to this form, and I filled out the form. And the automated response turns around and says that my needs are best served by Lightning Source. So that over 30, under 30 divide is the criteria they were looking for, because I clearly said I'm a self-publishing author, but I also put in the 31 plus on the uh, sort of number of titles. I chose the lowest band for the income, and I've said that print on demand was my first priority, ebook second, because that would be after I go non-exclusive. And they've taken all of that in and said Lightning Source. Now, the one pity about Lightning Source is these are their print facilities. It's obviously Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Ohio, California, England, and Australia. The Ingram content have got about 3 times as many facilities, including France and Germany. Now, it would have been probably quite nice to be able to print, to redirect the orders, because they do drop shipping, for European customers to a European facility and have it delivered within Europe, rather than having it delivered, uh, uh, the order delivered to Milton Keynes in England, printed there and exported, and then you're getting to all this VAT stuff. So that is a pity. That was a big advantage of the Ingram Spark, Ingram Content Group, rather than Lightning Source. But there you go, beggars can't be choosers. So this is where I'm at. I have set up my account, and they are going to email me. That's now I really want to go full steam ahead with print on demand from March. I've already got some titles. I think it's 5 or 6 print. No, it's not. It's more than that. It's probably about 10 or 12 print on demand titles out there already on DriveThru. I've got a few more on Amazon, and I can bring them together, and so I can start feeding them through. Stars Without Number is all laid out now in its new format. It's been re-edited, and that is ready to roll as well. This week I will be sending off for the proof, so I'm just waiting for pre-media on that. So I've got the titles to start rolling out, and my plan is to start doing that from March. I want to get the Stars Without Number book out, because that is my next print on demand, and I'm hoping that will be in sort of February, March time as well. So we're all good. Now, talking of Stars Without Number, this is the last 7 days, and here we've got 6 sales in 7 days, which is absolutely fine by me. Part of my business model was, what I wanted to do was to sell on average one copy of every book every day, and each book was to contribute on average $2. And that's what I've been working at. Now I know that no 2 days are ever going to be the same. I'm going to get peaks and troughs, but also no book is, no two books are going to be equally as popular. But this, we are now, this book's coming up for 2 years old. Although it's not selling the one per day, it's falling short, and we know that it does twos and threes and whatnot. Its contribution still works out at over the $2, and all of these are discounted at the moment because it falls under the New Year New Game sale, so it's 25% off. Um, so that would be closer to uh, about 269. 269 is its normal contribution. So that would have been 16 or $18. So this book, this is one of the ones which actually informed the business plan side of it, where I'm saying, well, actually, yeah, these solo books on average are hitting that, in excess of $2 a day each. And the plan was to have 50 titles in under my publisher name by March 2021, which would then, using all the averages, would come down to $100 per day, $36,000 a year in sales through my publisher account. And then I've got a similar number of titles. It is falling behind a bit. I haven't done much community content work. You so probably it's probably a similar number of titles that are earning a similar amount of money, but I'm easing off on that. So, ideally, through my drive-through account will be $50,000 by the end of 2021. That's the plan. Then the idea was to bring Pod into it, the print on demand. So where something is selling at, say $3.99 here, the print version will be $9.99, increasing the basket values and increasing the contribution per title. And then rolling that out, getting all the titles onto my own site and all the titles onto Amazon. So, that was, this book here is one of the ones that informs that business plan and what I'm working towards. Now, it's a weekly thing now. Those 6 sales have brought the total non-free units sold to 723. I reckon there's going to be, say, 10 weeks till the uh, deal of the day. So we will be getting up into the mid 700s, maybe more, by the time that deal of the day goes live, which would be cool. The previous solo book, this ideal of the day, was Blaze in the Dark. That sold over the 2 days about 200 copies. So by March, I would hope to have this in the high 900s, by which time it will make its own way over the platinum threshold, which was my goal. From the minute the first deal of the day happened, I said that my goal was to get this one to platinum, and it looks like it should happen in about March. So we're all good. And then from that point on, I will move to the next best-selling title, and the emphasis will be to bring them all up, because everything I do has a sort of rising tide, lifts all boats sort of thing. So everything I do with this one is actually boosting the sales of the next book in the list. And they're all moving. They're all slowly moving up through the newest ones, like say Coppers. That the ones which were coppers, a month ago are moving to silvers, and the silvers are moving to electrum, and so on. So I'm just picking each gold title in turn and trying to elevate them to platinum. Um, I believe that my Blaze in the Dark book was chosen for the bundle of holding bundle for Blades because it was a platinum bestseller. So I'm hoping that getting this one to platinum will help raise its profile for any future sign nominate or uh, stars without number bundles, because that's all really good exposure and yet another avenue. So that's all good. So that's my roundup of this week. It's all focusing on print on demand and getting set up as an independent on Lightning Source. So that's it. See you next week.